And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with the Game Boy Geek.
Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Today we're going to go back into the city, into the burbs, into the suburbs, and re-explore Suburbia, looking at the new expansion, Suburbia Inc. This is obviously still for 2 to 4 players. It adds all sorts of new tiles, it adds some new bonuses, it adds some new challenges, and it also adds some really cool things called borders. So I'll show you what all comes in it, and I'll tell you what I finally think on the other side. All right, in Suburbia Inc., we have some new stuff. We've got some new goals we'll talk about. We have a new board that gives us different amounts to put on there for the tile stacks A, B, and C. There's new stacks for A, B, and C. There's bonuses, there's challenges, these things called borders. Let's take a look and jump on in. Okay, we're gonna look at the goals first. This one is most borders. Essentially those big borders I showed you. It's called the guard, and you get 15 points for that. Then you have the fewest borders, called the European. You'd get 10 points for that. We have a nomad, which is the fewest yellows plus grays plus greens plus blue tiles. You'd get 15. We have a Milton, which is the most tiles that have a briefcase on it. Some of those are those blue tiles, some of them have briefcases on it. And we have the settler, which is the most yellow plus gray plus green plus blue. All right, so bonuses and challenges. Once you have your stacks laid out normally, you'll put one bonus and one challenge. Bonus on the B stack, challenge on the C stack. You'll flip them over before the game starts, and this is a bonus, a reputation bonus in this case. You'd get 3 additional money, essentially, but you must have at least 5 reputation. So by the time the first tile from this stack needs to be drawn, meaning all the A's are gone, if you have 5 reputation, you're going to be able to go up 3 on money. That's a type of what a goal would look, or a bonus would look like. And again, once the B stack's gone and you get ready to do the C stack, this would already have been flipped up at the beginning of the game as well. And this is a challenge. It's a population challenge. If you have 40 population by then, you're going to be able to raise your reputation by 2. And that's how those work. As soon as you get to that stack, if you succeed with doing whatever that says, you get the reward. Let's look at the different ones that are in the expansion. Now here we're going to be looking at all the bonuses in the expansion in addition to the one I just showed you. Civic bonus, you get 3 money, but you must have at least 3 gray tiles. Population bonus, you get 3 money, but you must have at least 13 population. Industrial bonus, plus 2 money, but you need at least 3 yellow tiles. Money bonus, plus 2 money, but you must have at least 25 bucks. Commercial bonus, plus 2 money, but you need to have at least 3 commercials. Plus 3 money for border bonus, but you must have at least 1 border. A lake bonus is you get 3 extra money, but you must have at least 2 lake tiles. Residential bonus is plus 4 money, but you must have at least 3 residential tiles. And income bonus, you get 2 money every turn, but you must have at least 5. So that's bonuses. Now here are the challenges that stay on top of stack C. There's 1 per game. Civic challenge. You will get plus 3 reputation if you have 5 gray tiles in there. You'll get 3 reputation in the lake challenge if you have at least 4 lakes. In the money challenge, you get 3 reputation if you have at least 45 bucks. In the income challenge, you get 3 reputation if you have at least 10 money. In the reputation challenge, you'll get 2 reputation, but you must have at least 10 reputation. In a border challenge, you'll get 4 reputation if you have at least 2 borders. In industrial challenge, you'll get 3 reputation if you have 5 yellow tiles. Commercial challenge, you get 3 reputation if you have 5 blue commercial tiles. And residential challenge, you'll get 3 reputation if you have 5 residential tiles. Okay, the A stack comes with 10 new tiles, 5 different types of tiles, 2 each. So a total of 10, but only 5 new types of tiles. We have a cemetery, which is a gray building. And it's $4. You lose 2 population because, hey, they're dead going to the cemetery. And you'd get plus 1 money for each green adjacent that you have there. The county assessor, another gray one, 11 bucks. You get 1 reputation, and you get $2 for each of those types of tiles, yellow, blue, green, and gray. Law office, this one's interesting. 14 bucks, you get 2 money, and you score a tied goal. So if you're tied with somebody with a goal and you have the law office, your lawyer gets you that goal. Pretty cool, and that's one of those briefcases we were talking about a little earlier. Investment property, it's 8 bucks. You get 1 population, and you get 1 money for each adjacent green tile. Then we have the redevelopment planner. It's $7. Pretty interesting. So you buy this one for 7 bucks, and you put it somewhere. Later, at any time, you can take any tile that's in the real estate market, or any of the other normal 3 tiles that you can take from the board. And you get to replace it with exactly where this is, and it costs you nothing. You don't even have to pay the cost on the board to do it. It's really cool. It's kind of a placeholder that you can get something really expensive and drop it in there later. Pretty cool idea. All right, the B tiles. There are 10 more tiles, 4 different ones. We have a water for purification, plus it's $7. You get 7 reputation, but you have to pay $2 for every yellow in every borough. And if you can't afford to do it, pay for it, and pay for this, then you can't get it. Pretty interesting though, you can get huge 7 reputation with that. Light rail, it's $12, and you get 1 reputation and 1 money for each adjacent commercial or industrial. New construction, it's $4, and you get 2 population for each adjacent tile of those types. And the checkpoint, it must be adjacent to one of the borders, which we'll talk about here shortly. It must be adjacent like that. And it's $14, and you'll get $2 for every one of these borders. That's in the entire, out of all the boroughs. So that's the B tiles. All right, the C tiles, there's 3 new ones, and there's 2 of each, so a total of 6 tiles. The lake house must be adjacent to a lake. It's $18, you get 3 reputation, you get plus 2 population for each of your residentials. The indoor malls, $22, you get 2 money, you get 1 reputation for each of your blue commercial tiles, and the most interesting one, the redistricting office, it's $6 per however many players there are in the game. So if there's 3 players, you'd have to pay $18 plus any other normal real estate costs to do this, and you have to have all that money to do it. And if you're able to do it, you can take $5 from every other borough, which essentially is if there were 3 players, you'd be getting 15 population, and each of them would go down by 5 population. Pretty interesting tile. Okay, now we get to what I think the coolest part of this whole expansion is the borders. You have 3 borders that are face down. These are shuffled, and the backside of these are just big lakes. And what you can do is you can buy these for their cost, and when you buy them, they act like as if you had bought one of these. Meaning if you buy one of these, you then still have to get rid of one of these tiles down here by paying just the cost on the board. So if I want to get rid of one of these 2, you just get rid of it and not pay anything. If I want to get rid of this one, I would just pay $2 just like normal. Let's talk about what these borders do. Well, as soon as I take one of these, a new one will come out and kind of replace it. But let's take a look at how they work. Okay, let's look at this forest. It would cost me $9, and I get 1 reputation for each adjacent gray, green, or blue type tile. And you can place it anywhere as long as at least 1 hex is adjacent to it, meaning here's at least 1. Boom. As long as that's just 1 adjacent, you could put it anywhere you want like that. Now, you could put it somewhere like this, and then this would get me 2 reputation because there's 2 adjacent, and later on I could add some in there. You could maybe add it something like this and get it going that way. You could do the opposite and like maybe even go this way like this, then you already have 3 of them like that. Or maybe you even want to like plan for it to go in a different direction, so you kind of go like that. So there's all different ways you can place these things. But they do some really cool ideas. Let's look at the rest of them. All right, Radioactive Waste Site, $7. This one's interesting. You get 5 money, but you get -7 for each adjacent tile, period. So this is one of those ones where you're gonna get 5 money, and you'll probably want to put it way out in the middle of nowhere and have it be adjacent just to 1 tile, and you probably never want to put a tile here again. And it's just doing it for the money, which is kind of an interesting look. Mountains, $18, and you get 2 reputation for each of those tiles. Train tracks, $17, and you get 3 money and 1 money for each adjacent yellow or blue tile. Amusement park, it's $15, you get 2 reputation and 2 money for each adjacent yellow or green tile. National park, it's $15, you get 2 reputation and 1 reputation for any tile. Beach, you have $12, it's 3 reputation right off the bat, and then you get 3 population for each residential or commercial that's adjacent to this. You have a $13, and it's a bay. You get 1 reputation and $8 for each adjacent tile like that. The desert, you have $6 to get this. You get 5 money, but you get -$10 for any of these adjacent tiles. So it's one of those things where you'll probably have to put at least obviously adjacent to 1 tile. So you're gonna get, at the very best, it's gonna cost you $10 plus the 6, so 16, but you're gonna get 5 money every round because of that. Put that way out in the middle of nowhere. Military park, $12, you get 1 money and you get 5 population for each adjacent sort of civic building. We have a sports complex, $18, 3 money every round, and then you get 1 money for each adjacent civic and residential. And the last one's the orchard, $10, 1 reputation and 1 money for each adjacent yellow, green, or blue. And that's pretty much it for the Suburbia Inc. All right, well, if you remember my review from Suburbia, I said how much I liked the game, and I said it was one of those games that I liked more and more. The more times I played it, I liked it more and more and more, and I'm still feeling that with every play. Now, with the expansion, Wow, I gotta tell you, it seems very simple and it's easy to grasp, but man, does it really just feel like it adds a lot to it. First of all, the new tiles. They're okay, they're cool. Hey, new tiles are always great. I love the redistrict office. You get as much money by any many points as how many players are there. I also like that redevelopment planner where you can stick that down there and then at any point you can replace it, so you can kind of really have some futuristic strategies going on with that thing. The new tiles are great, but that's not the best thing about this. In my opinion, those borders, those big huge borders like the military base and the desert and the plants, those are the coolest things, because this one little thing just for me even ratcheted up this game to another level. Because you can buy more than one of them. You can put them in all sorts of weird angles. It really shows that you can build your city off to the side and still do something good with that area down there, and then build it off into a different angle down below. And they do such cool things too, and they're just so thematic, just like all the tiles were in the original game. And I love that about this. The new goals, cool. Hey, having some new goals are cool, especially when there's some of those are tied to those borders. And there's the challenges and the intermittent goals there that were there at the end of the B, at the beginning of the B stack and the C stack. Something as simple as that really does add a lot, because at the beginning of the game, you have those goals and challenges to shoot for, and it might steer you one direction or another, and you may or may not want to go for that. It might kind of push you into one direction. You might not want to go there. And as cool as that sounds, we almost always, the first couple times I played this, I forgot that they were there because I'm so used to them not being there. And I was like, oh, those are cool when we first opened the game, and then I totally forget about it. Then we get to the B stack, I'm like, oh man, I forgot to do that, really? So it takes a while to remember that they're there, but those are cool. Again, simple, totally simple, but adds a lot to the game. But those borders, man, make this expansion awesome. What do I think about it? Well, obviously you don't need it to enjoy the game, because there's so much variability with all those tiles and all those interactions to enjoy Suburbia by itself for a long time. But this expansion, including those border tiles, just really adds so much to the game that I didn't think I could like this game better, and I do. This is an awesome expansion. Now, with most expansions, I usually say, I'm gonna play this every time that I play the game, except when I have new players. With this expansion, since the things that they added are just either more of the same but new, or just very minute changes like those goals and the different challenges, and those border tiles aren't that much hard to explain how they work, that I will never play this game without this expansion again, even if I have new players, because it doesn't raise the bar that much. So when you can add some interesting things that doesn't make it more difficult to play, doesn't make it hard to teach a new player, but yet adds more to the game, you have an expansion winner. That's a blueprint of how you make a great expansion. Suburbia Inc., if you like Suburbia, you're gonna wanna pick this one up.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.